I gotta say, I'm definitely leaning PJ. Some people are bringing up Joe Flacco. This is a classic case of just nostalgia, of remembering the guy he used to be. Go watch him with the Jets. Go watch him in his most recent years. He is awful. I mean, he's terrible. It happens. Guys get older, and it's a couple years since then. He only got worse, I promise you. He didn't suddenly get better. It's going to get ugly. He's just not a good quarterback anymore. Okay, PJ isn't world class. I'm not pretending he is, but he's played for you. He knows your playbook well. He's solid enough. Just try to work on inching it out a little bit. Try to make some tweaks and try to avoid some of the picks, and roll with him. That would be my take on it.
Yeah, I like when I think about this. I know, and if you're a viewer or listener who wants the Browns to start Joe Flacco, ask yourself this: how many times in NFL history has an old player, retired, or not retired, but not been on a team for how long? A year? Come back and then been serviceable. In the NFL, that doesn't happen. Yeah, he was out of the league for a reason. It's because the people didn't think he was that good. He's not suddenly going to be great. And yes, for Browns fans especially, I think it's easier to fall into the trap because Joe Flacco had one good game, and that was against the Browns, where he had 300 yards and 4 touchdowns or something like that against the Browns when he was on the Jets. So I think for us, maybe if you weren't watching him, you might think, well, wasn't that bad. It was only good in that game, really. Overall, he wasn't that great. And again, there's a reason why he wasn't signed. Guys aren't signed for a reason. Almost always. It's pretty rare, and especially not a really old guy. The old guys never retire, come back, and then play well. Look at Phillip Rivers, towards the end of his career. What a mess that was. They kept trying to trot him out because he's got experience and he was good and blah, blah. And it was such a mess. It's not a good idea. It's tempting. It's really tempting because he's a name and you think he was good at one time. He was decent, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he could just manage the game, be like Peyton Manning on the Broncos and whatever. Obviously, nobody's saying he's Peyton Manning, but that type of a situation, it's probably going to be a lot worse than that. P.J. Walker doesn't give us a great chance to win every week, but I do think he gives us a better chance than Joe Flacco.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the Jets lost their starting quarterback this year. They had the most recent experience with him, and they did not even call him for a workout. That's got to say something, because they were not staring down a beautiful bear, which I know they're a mess because they're starting Tim Boyle instead of when everyone told them to go get a quarterback. That's their problem. But the fact that he didn't even work out Joe Flacco tells you all you need to know about the guy. He's not where he was.